Hey, Unemployed Gamer here. How's everybody today? Today I am going to be talking about Comic Con International. And as you know, everybody wants to go to Comic Con, and it's clear now why. I mean, it isn't just about comic books anymore. It's a lot more than that. For instance, Hollywood took over in the most recent years, and it made it pretty much impossible to obtain tickets. There was a time nobody cared about Comic Con though, and you can walk to the convention center and enjoy it. And it was actually for the actual geek or nerd or whatever you want to call us, and you didn't have to go through the annoying process and stare at the goddamn blue circle. Anyways, to obtain those badges. Nowadays, Comic Con sells out every year within a matter of minutes, and I mean minutes, 10, 15 minutes tops. And everybody just wants to go. And I'm not here to bitch about it or complain, which I am, anyways, right now. I can truly say Comic Con has become a phenomenon, and I'm not gonna lie. I used to go with my son every year outside the convention, and I used to enjoy all those activities with him because he actually loved it so much. Uh, but we were always there, kind of looking at the convention center, kind of dreaming of getting inside. He actually asked me a few times, Dad, how do we get inside? I want to be in there. Um, so I kept going, getting on the computer, and with no luck, and obtaining those badges. Um, but finally, in 2016, I got the opportunity to grab them. Um, Sometimes you want something so much, and when you finally have it, it can be rather disappointing. I'll give you my full review of San Diego Comic Con International. In 2016, my ex-wife and my son called me at work. They said we were the lucky ones. They were happy. They were jumping around. And myself, I jumped around like a madman at work because I did have a job back then. You need to understand, we were trying for years and years. Like I said earlier, my son always wanted to be there, and we were definitely hoping to get them every single year. And I'm not gonna lie, I always wonder myself what the hell was inside those doors, and it was a big deal, for us. So off we went to Comic Con International, and first of all, the headache started with parking. But let me tell you, I'm so happy I didn't take my car that day. And I'll give you my first recommendation: do not take your car. Grab a trolley if you can, or an Uber. If that's gonna save you a headache. Anyways, we got our badges, and after that dilemma, we were finally heading into the convention center, and like in the movie, it was in slow motion. My kids were really excited. I also took my daughter that day. We went in there like a movie in slow motion. Finally, we were in there, and I admit the first 2 hours were freaking cool. They were really fun. They were amazing. There was a lot of cool stuff inside. We even got to experience the Conan virtual reality experience. We got a couple of Funkos for free. Um, but as time was passing more and more, it was getting kind of hard to walk around. And by hour number 3, I think it wasn't fun being inside anymore. The crowds were just insane. The lines were everywhere. We couldn't breathe. And at one point, they even knocked us down. And I think we had enough. So we got out of the convention center, and we were, hey, you know what? Maybe outside's going to be better. It's always fun outside when I go with my son. It wasn't even anything close to other years. It was actually worse. A lot of more crowds out there because there's no requirement for badges outside, and it was real stressful. I'm not gonna lie. People were camping out because, as you know, at Comic Con to get in panels, people have to actually spend the night, and people camp out. And I am not crazy enough to do that. Um, but anyways, water and food were expensive, super expensive, like $100. I'm exaggerating, but it was really expensive. Thank God I always had my backpack handy, and we had snacks and food and water, plenty of water. So please take a pack bag, take yourself a backpack, some food and some water, plenty of water especially. The Nintendo Lounge was probably the coolest part. It's located outside, in a hotel. We were there for about 15, 20 minutes, and we're having a lot of fun until it became a clusterfuck as well. We used to go, like I said earlier, every year without badges, and we loved it. It was one of our favorite sections, but not this year, and I think not any year anymore. It was really, really impossible. The lines were impossible, so we got to get out of there too. Um, so I guess I'm trying to say Comic Con International for me has become a disaster, especially nowadays, where everywhere you go is lines, lines, lines. And I hate to say it, but for me, buying the badge was not worth it. Um, we enjoyed it at most for 3 hours, and then we wanted to get the hell out of there. But hey, at least we got to go inside. My son actually got to enjoy it for the first time. My daughter was excited for a little bit as well. And we took it off our bucket list. So my review is a 5 out of 10. And I'm giving it that extra point because my kids still love the Nintendo booth and the lounge. If not, it probably would have been a 4. Um, I say go to WonderCon or LA Comic Con, which used to be Stanley's Kamikaze. Less crowded, easy to obtain tickets, and because Comic Con International has become a convention for people to say, "Hey, look, I was one of the lucky people to get a badge. Look at me, everybody." For me, it's an overrated convention nowadays. I must admit, I did love the earlier years, and I'm always gonna remember them fondly because, as you can see in those pictures, my son was always happy, and my daughter, and it gives me tremendous happiness and a lot of good memories, a lot of father-son moments, as you can see, and I can kind of cry a little bit, looking at the beautiful pictures with my friends, but especially with the people I love the most. Um, this became a tradition for a little bit, and it was good while it lasted, and I believe this is the reason why we're here. Uh, these are the moments we want to be on this earth for. Anyways, I'm getting a little bit sentimental here, but that was my score, a 5 out of 10. Until I find a job, get busy living, and have a good one. And until next time.